Hello, I'm Soap, and today I'm going to be talking about my opinions on the recent Mermaid update in Royale High. Sorry that I'm a bit late, I just like to wait until the update has settled a bit before making a video on it. First, let's talk about the free mermaid tails. I think it's a good thing that we have 6 free mermaid tails because one, obviously free items cool, but also because it just makes sense because we also have 6 free wings for each element from when Campus Free came out, so I think it's kind of a retcon on that, even though you can still get those items. The designs are a bit basic, but they don't actually have to be anything special, since there are other tails, which I will talk about later. I also enjoy the process of getting these tails. I mean, for me it was hard to understand at first, but I think the message in a bottle thing was a good way to make Royale High players play the game for longer, and I also just found the fishlings adorable. I think the main problem is that for new players, since they won't have all the elements yet, they won't be able to get all these free tails, but that's the same for the free elemental wings, so I don't really care about that. I guess it gives them more to work towards. Royale High is overall not a good game for new players. That's not what this video is about. Okay, let's talk about arguably the biggest part of the update, the Mermaid shop. You unlock this shop after getting a free tail, which means you have to work for it, which I think is a good thing because otherwise people wouldn't spend all that time getting the free tails if they had all these nicer tails readily available to them. The Mermaid shop resets every day, which I think is a reasonable time period, and this encourages players to log in daily. As a side note, I know that that's what the login streak is for, but be so for real, who actually cares about Cloud Cash? We've been given so many new tails, accessories and bodices, and I don't even know how many new items that they've given us. The pricing on the tails may seem expensive, but I think they're fairly reasonable if you compare them to the prices of literally any new shoes, which are 70k diamonds. Ridiculous. And then rare mermaid tails are 30k diamonds. But unlike shoes, you can't recolor these tails and they don't even have toggles, so I guess that's a downside. But still, new expensive items causes people to farm more, therefore meaning players are playing the game for longer, and I think this is a good timing because you can candy farm whilst waiting for evening fall, and at the same time diamond farm for the mermaid update. I also have a personal problem with the amount of duplicates I get, but that's literally just a me problem since I'm pretty sure the mermaid shop is just based off probability. Let's talk about halos, which is technically a subsection of the mermaid shop, but I've got quite a bit to say, I guess. You can now get halos in the mermaid shop at discounted prices. I personally think this is a good thing because I'm broke and I got my first halo from the fountain literally this year, but this is bad for people who are hoping to trade their halos for higher prices and make quite a lot of profit. This personally doesn't affect me because I'm not really the trading type, but I understand why some people are mad. But I think it's a good thing that Royale High are trying to tackle their halo inflation problem, since they don't particularly like the involvement with third-party resources such as tradery. Some people argue that this made halos lose their value, and I don't like monetary value, since you can now buy them rather than get them by luck. But I still believe they are incredibly rare, since the mermaid shop seems to be working in a probability based on rank. By this I mean common, rare, etc. As a plus, halos can now also be bought out of their original season, so if you missed a halo from the fountain, you still have a slight chance of getting it. Very small chance, but still, there's always a chance you can get a new halo. Okay, let's talk about the new map area. I think it's way better than the bit we used to have, since it's much larger and much more aesthetically pleasing. This gives us more space to swim with the mermaid tails, and the new water physics mean that we can take underwater photo shoots, but I think the mermaid update would have been better if it had came out at the same time as the Campus 4.3 to soften the blow to the downgraded campus, but it is what it is, and this way we get less complaints about the mermaid update. Let's talk about quality of life updates. There are a bunch of bug fixes and quality of life updates, but I'm only going to talk about the most notable ones and the ones I can remember off the top of my brain. So first, there's not being instantly teleported to lessons, since we now have the option to opt out or silence notifications. This does make me wonder what the point of weekend mode is though, but for some reason I still feel an attachment to weekend mode, so I'd be a little bit sad if they got rid of it. They also made it so that the study by the fountain quest works, which is good because it used to piss me off. Classes were buffed by 10%. This was definitely needed, but I personally think that they needed to buff it a bit more. The new water physics mean that you don't float to the surface in water, meaning you could just like kind of chill underwater. I don't really remember anything else, but check the update log to see how much they fixed and upgraded. The changes make me think that they might actually be slightly listening to us for once. Let's talk about future updates. In the Mermaid shop we can see that on October 7th there will be a Lunar Lagoon, which is a mermaid training ground. We don't really know for sure what this entails, but I believe that is probably where we get to trade items that we get from the Mermaid shop, or we have more like mermaid items that we can buy. Them showing us when an update is coming for certain build type, plus it shows that there's even more to the Mermaid update. Also, the Lunar Lagoon appears every full moon, so October 7th isn't the only time this realm will be showing up. Royal High is also coming very soon, so this is very packed autumn for updates. Okay, so let's talk about other stuff. The Mermaid update provides lore which only I really care about. There are gorgeous new hairs, and there's a Goddess of Triumph tail, which is 4,000 Robux, which I think is a bit steep, since that's around $50, but at least it goes to cancer research, am I right? The moon now matches its real life cycle, probably because of the Lunar Lagoon update, and I think that's cool. I don't really have much to say about these things. I guess in conclusion, this is probably one of the biggest updates we've had in a while. We've been having some disappointing updates, Campus 4.3, etc. I thought that Campus 4.2 was a big update, but do I think this update is going to bring Royale High back from the brink of death? No. I don't think anything can at this point. No one's going to join back just because it's a good update. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe.